I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to be here. I hate everyone on that island, and I can't wait for this shit to end. Let's get started. I dread watching it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Okay? I'm never watching another Love Island ever again. I honest to God been procrastinating this. I wasn't even here last week. I was focusing on, oh my God, I'm sweating. I was focusing on my Catching Fire video, and I was happy to do that because I don't want to be here. I don't want to talk about Love Island. I don't want to. I hate it so much. In today's video, we're going to talk about week 4 and 5 because I missed last week because I was working on my Catching Fire video, and it was actually really nice not to talk about this for a week, if I'm being honest. I hate everyone. As always, I'm just gonna go person to person, talk about what happened to them in the last 2 weeks, give my thoughts and opinions. Before we get started though, I just want to say thank you on 1,000 subscribers. It was my goal to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and it's July and I don't know what to do for the rest of the year. But I want to say thank you. I don't know what to do now. Should I aim for like 5K by the end of the year? Yeah, let's do 5K. So if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. If you're new here, you should subscribe so you can see my sweaty ass every week. And if you're returning and you haven't subscribed, you're obviously coming back for something, so you might as well subscribe. Oh my God. I'm not in a mood for makeup today, so I'm not doing it. Respectfully. I don't want to. I look fine. I look a little ill. I look fine. Okay, let's get started. So where we last left off, Nick and Olandria had just been eliminated. Since then, they brought them back. They had a recoupling after Casa, where 4 people were eliminated, and then they did the stand on business challenge. That was a mess. And then they did a little ranking thing where they told the contestants what America felt about them, and a bunch of people were eliminated then. And then Clarke and Taylor were eliminated. And even though I usually do like Thursday to Tuesday episodes, this time, because I'm filming this Friday, July 11th, I'm also going to be including yesterday's episode, which is a Thursday episode. Not much happened yesterday, to be honest, but I'm still gonna include it. Okay, so let's get started with everyone who's been eliminated, starting with Vanna. She was coupled up with TJ during Casa, and then TJ chose Iris. She seems like a sweet girl. She looked just fine after she left the villa. I don't know what that villa was. I don't know what it was doing to those people. I feel bad for her. She didn't deserve all that bullying. She seems like a sweet girl. I wish her well. Moving on. Coco. She was coupled up with Ace, and then he chose Chelley. She deserves another chance. I hope they bring her back next year. I won't be watching, but I hope they bring her back. Moving on. Zach with a C. Yeah. JD, you like to be dominant. You like to be dominant. Was he wrong? He was not wrong. Huda's a very dominant, very controlling person. He's not wrong. He's just a little stupid. I'm sorry. But he's not wrong. Let's move on. Austin, the roach is finally dead. Finally, he's out of my villa. The scariest part of all of this is that if I didn't know about his political views, I would have liked him. That's the scary part about it. I actually did like him at some parts. When he was bullying Amaya and throwing microaggressions at her, he had to leave my villa. And you know what? I hate to say this, but Ace was right. You are a coward. Because why are you telling everyone how you felt about Amaya except Amaya? And you waited until it was a challenge in front of everyone so you could humiliate her in front of everyone instead of just telling her what you thought about her in private. I hate you. I'm glad you're gone. Let's move on. TJ, still don't like him. And I don't care about his connection with Iris. I just don't care. I just don't care. Moral of the story is that I don't care. And I heard that he was an Andrew Tate fan. So you know what, Iris? We did you a favor. Let's move on. Jaden. I did like her when she said she wanted to throw Zach in the pool, Zach K. Because me too, sister. But you like Austin. You chose Austin. And that means there's something weird about you. There's something off there. There's something wrong with you. And for that reason, I I do not like you, Jaden. Gracyn. She deserved better than Pepe. She seemed like a sweet girl, very supportive of Coco and of Clarke. I really liked when she was standing up for them. She was like, I have to try to save my girl Coco. She deserved better than Pepe because Pepe was too hung up on Hannah to appreciate Gracyn. I wish her luck. Maybe they bring her back next year. Once again, I won't tune in, but I hope they bring her back. Andreina, I still don't know how to say her name. She's a bit of a weirdo, isn't she? Because it's fine to not like Huda, because Huda dug her grave by treating every bombshell like crap. I understand it, but talking behind her back makes you a bad person. When someone confides in you and then you go and twist their words and tell the person they were talking about what they said, that was not okay, Andreina. That was weird. No one on that island is a girl's girl except Amaya. Because that's not girl's girl behavior. Even if you don't like the girl. I don't like that. I don't like that behavior. That was weird to me. Let's move on to Zach K. Go F yourself. I'm trying not to swear. I'm sure I've already sworn. I hate you, Zach. I knew you didn't like Amaya. Everyone was making fan edits about you and Amaya. I knew you didn't like her. I saw right through you, Zach. He waited until the other boys were bullying her to say something. I understand that Amaya is someone who's difficult to talk to because she does interrupt a lot. I love her. That's my girl. I love her with my whole heart, but she does interrupt a lot. I understand that. You didn't have to wait until everyone was there to tell her that she's too much, when all of the other boys were already telling her that she's too much. That was disgusting, Zach, especially considering you're still in a couple with her. You already know how emotional she is. You already know how sensitive she is, and you waited to pile on, to bully her, and to pounce in front of everybody. Vulture behavior. And when he said, I felt uncomfortable with the kiss, you will never beat the odd individual allegations. When she called you an odd individual, I cheered, because that's what you are, Zach. You're weird. And you notice how he changed his mind very quickly once he found out that Amaya is very well loved by America. By the world. I'm not in America, and I love her. She's well loved by everyone. And he just changed his mind quickly after that. You notice that? Weirdo. I see right through you. You are a coward and a clout chaser. I'm glad you're off my villa. Elan, he would not back off of Cierra. She made it very clear when she long jumped to Nick to kiss him after she thought he was eliminated. She made it very clear that she did not want you. And you still won't back off of her. What's was she promised to you 3,000 years ago? What's going on? What's going on? Why won't you back off? Even when Nick told you, hey, back off, you still wouldn't back off. You still wanted to explore more. Nick was so threatened by you not wanting to back off, he closed things off. Just to get you to back off. Bye. Bye. You are not missed. Goodbye. Next we have Clarke. I feel bad for her. She seemed sweet. She honestly did not deserve any of it. She, and I'm going to say this with my full chest, she did nothing wrong. She just did what a Casa girl is supposed to do, which is break up an existing couple. She just did her job. She did nothing wrong. It is not on her that Taylor was disrespecting Olandria. That is not her fault. She did not do that. She did not force him to disrespect her. It's not her fault they had a good connection. It's not her fault. And she doesn't deserve to be called the least genuine girl. She didn't deserve that. She also didn't deserve to be eliminated. However, if she and Taylor do have a strong connection, then they can just leave and be on their own. They don't have to stay. You know, they formed a connection. They can go off and explore in the real world. I'm happy for them. As much as I despise Taylor, I am happy for them. And she deserves better than Taylor. I hope she listens to Olandria, because a man who will disrespect a woman will disrespect you. He will disrespect you. So, Clarke, I wish you well. You're a sweet girl. You're a beautiful girl. You deserve better than Taylor. And I wish you luck. Speaking of the devil, Taylor, it is like 31 degrees outside. So, that's why I'm sweating and fanning myself. He's finally off my screen. Do I want to throw a dance party? Should I zgharat again? I can't zgharat. Okay? I'm not. He picked Clarke over Olandria. Okay, which is, it's fine. He developed another connection. It's fine. But the way he did it is he attempted to send Olandria home only because he didn't want to face her and have a conversation with her, because he's a coward. And when he did have a conversation with her, even though you and I know that for weeks now he's been saying that he's not attracted to Olandria and he doesn't feel a chemistry with her, to her face he told her, I still want to explore things, because he's a coward. And he waited until he was in front of everyone at the Stand on Business challenge to tell her the actual truth, which is that he doesn't want anything to do with her. As if humiliating her and attempting to send her home wasn't enough. He wanted to humiliate her again. This is an evil man. This is an evil man. And in front of everyone, he said what we've all known and what we've all been saying is that he does not care about her. He's only here for himself. He's only here to explore connection. He doesn't care who he hurts in the process. And even though that's technically fair because it is Love Island, it is fair. That's quite literally the point of the whole show, is that if you are in a strong connection now, it may not stay strong for long. That's why they bring in the bombshells, but it's still disrespectful regardless. And it's extra disrespectful because he didn't do it in private. He waited to do it in front of everyone to tell her that I'm not here for you, I'm here for me. I'm putting me first. I do not care about you, and I don't care if I hurt you. And you notice how he doesn't keep moments between him and Clarke private? Like when he did that public cheer thing to ask her to be exclusive. Why couldn't he do that privately? Why did he do that? Why did he have to do that in front of Olandria? I thought that was very disrespectful, actually. It's just adding on humiliation. I did think it was cute because I heard Clarke used to be a cheerleader. So doing a little cheer dance, it's cute. Keep it private. Pull her aside, take her to the dock, have the boys do the little cheer. It doesn't have to be in front of everyone. Anyway, bye-bye, Taylor. You are not missed in this household. And then the final elimination is Cierra. So Cierra has been exposed for using an Asian racial slur on her Instagram story, and she was kicked out of the villa by the producers. I did see her response video where she said, I'm sorry to those who are holding space for the slur. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Holding space. It's not a funny situation. She was talking about how she gets a brow lift to open up her eyes because her eyes look a little Asian slur. Yeah, it's bad. Even if she didn't say Asian slur, if she said, "Oh, I'm trying to open up my eyes because they look a little Asian," that is about the most racist thing you can say, without even the slur. But to add insult to injury, she said a slur, and she claimed she didn't know it. She claimed as soon as she found out that it was a slur, she deleted her story. But like, how did you use it correctly? Where did you learn that word? And then proceeded to use it correctly and use it in the correct context. You know what I mean? Anyway, she was kicked out. This is the second incident in the season of Love Island where someone is getting kicked out for using a racial slur. Is no one else looking at these producers sideways? These casting agents. There's something off there, and that's why I'm not watching another season of this shit. It's ridiculous. Slur aside, and I never put a slur aside, but slur aside, I do want to talk about the things she did before she got kicked out. And she, just a little bit of a mean girl, ain't she? I want to make my stance very clear. I don't believe Chelley and Olandria are mean girls. And you can stay to hear me out, or you can leave. But Cierra is something else, because her demeanor completely changes when it comes to Huda. She's someone who's usually very calm and collected, someone who's usually very together, knows the right thing to say. She's very PR trained, you know? But when it comes to Huda, she gets giddy, she gets excited. She's so excited to talk shit about her. It's very different when it comes to Huda. And yes, that is Huda's own doing, and I'll talk about that later, but it is a little weird. And during the Stand on Business challenge, the faces she was making brought out an anger in me that I didn't know was there. It's something about when you're angry, when you're sad, when you're feeling emotions and someone laughs in your face. It's a level of disrespect that I would only do to my worst enemy. You know what I mean? Like, Huda was getting visibly mad and visibly distraught. Huda was very blindsided by the entire thing because she's thinking all these girls are her girls, her besties. And they made their stance very clear that they don't like her. And you are laughing in her face. It's very strange. Very strange. I did not like it. I really didn't like it. And when she said to Chris, say that more then, when she was like questioning his feelings for Huda. Do you understand how truly mean that is? How truly mean that is to Huda? It's like saying, I don't believe he can actually like you. He needs to prove that to me. I need to deem your connection worthy. Like, he doesn't owe you shit. Why does he have to explain himself to you? His connection with Huda to you. I'm going to talk about this when I get to Huda, but everyone is in Huda's business all the time. That's why she's so closed off and wants to keep things with Chris private, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Now, in regards to Olandria, she does not see Olandria as a threat. She doesn't see her as a threat. If she did, she would freak out over the fact that her man and her best friend, you know what I mean? She doesn't see her as a threat. When she said, I'm glad it was Olandria. What do you mean by that? Because if it was Huda or Andreina or someone else, you would have lost your mind. You would have lost your mind. But because you don't see Olandria as a threat, you think it's cool. There's no way he can actually be attracted to Olandria. Because she didn't see what we saw. She did not see what we saw. And this is what I mean. I know I called Huda delusional before. I do believe she's still delusional. Except I realize every girl on that island is delusional. Each and every single one of them. Because how do you not see and hear what Nick is saying? Nick said, you are the girl. And then he stopped himself. You are the girl what? You are the girl what? And then when you asked him, am I your dream girl? His response was, How do you not see that? How do you not see that? How do you not see that? That man does not like you. He does not like you. Same with Olandria. She was delusional with Taylor. Huda was delusional with Jeremiah. What is happening on this island? It's delusional island at this point. You went to all the girls and said, he said I was his dream girl. No, he did not say that. He did not say that. He said the opposite, in fact. He said, And the fact that she didn't see that the only reason why he closed things off was because he was threatened by Elan. How did... Open your eyes. I thought that was the whole reason you got the brow lift. Open your eyes. Bye, Cierra. Bye. Let's move on to the people who are still on the island for now, because there's going to be an elimination tonight. Pepe. Ooh, Pepe has a type. If you are not blonde-haired and blue-eyed, don't even bother talking to him. I thought it was weird that he friend-zoned Andreina. Turns out if she was just the wrong race for him. That's crazy. That is actually crazy. He friend-zoned Andreina, and then he said he didn't feel a spark with Gracyn. Do you want to go home? Is that what it is? Because if you want to go home, just go home to Hannah. But then now he's coupled up with Iris, and he seems to like her. She seems to like him. I don't care. I don't care. Let's move on. 2, Iris. She was right about Nick and Olandria. She was the only one making sense. When she was talking to Cierra and she made that cool girl comment, that was shade. First of all, you're a cool girl. I know you're a cool girl and you don't care if your man kisses other women. That was shade. You're funny, Iris. You're funny. And I realize you are not boring. You're just a little normal. You're normal. I still don't like normal on my television. I want chaos on my television. So you can go be normal somewhere else, but bless your heart. She was the only one making sense, being like, you two consummated your relationship, and then he goes and makes out with your friend. How are you not threatened by that? Unless you are racist. But anyway, to Iris, she seems to like Pepe. Good luck to her. I'm glad she's far away from TJ. Moving on to Nicholas. Oh, Nicholas. Let me tell you something. The Olandria stands were onto something. Because I didn't see it. I said in my last video, I literally did not see it, right? But after they brought them back, after the elimination during Casa, it was the first time I've ever seen life in Nick's eyes. Before that, there was no life in his eyes. It was like he's dissociating. There was nothing behind the eyes. And then he coupled up with Olandria, and I finally saw a spark in his eyes. Isn't that interesting? It's the first time I saw him happy. It's the first time I've ever seen him be giddy. Isn't that interesting? It's the first time I giggled during the entire show. Like I said before, he closed things off just because he was threatened by Elan. That's the only reason. You cannot convince me that he likes her. You can't convince me. I'm not convinced that anyone likes anyone on this island. However, with him and Olandria, there's definitely a physical connection there. But I'm not sensing an emotional connection. But to be fair, I don't sense a connection with anyone on that island. Everything just seems so shallow on that island. I see him talking to Ace about Olandria more than I see him talking to Olandria, and I think that's an issue. In regards to his relationship with Huda, it's so weird. He claims to be her friend and that he cares about her, but then during the Stand on Business challenge, he told her she should have gone home. Okay, thanks for your opinion. Why did he have to say that? That was so unnecessary. He claims to be her friend to her face. Behind her back, he says the most vile things. It's so strange. Everyone is so strange. When she was having a conversation with Chris, he all eyes on her. He was just looking at her. Why don't you go talk to Olandria? How about that? Focus on your connection. How about that? Good luck, Olandria. I really wanted better for you. I really did. I did. But they're not gonna bring a bombshell for you. So, let's talk about Ace. He's such a bully. He's such a bully. When he was coming at Amaya, I'm getting mad. Let me relax. He was coming at Amaya when Austin was already attacking her over a situation that happened weeks ago. Move on. With our own 2 eyes, we watched her get bullied. Being ganged up on by those 3 boys. You're too much. You're too emotional. You're too physically intimate. You're too this, you're too that. Even though they're the ones who are emotionally stunted and don't know how to communicate properly. But she's the one who's too emotional. He was called out by Austin so beautifully. But this man is manipulative. You saw how he spun it? Immediately turned it on Austin. Because he knew he would get Amaya riled up by mentioning her. And he knew he could get himself off the hook by starting a fight between Austin and Amaya. He's like scary. He's really scary. And I loved seeing him during that challenge go down and down and down and down and down to last place, finding out that America hates him. America hates him because he's a bully and a weirdo. And of course I'm losing my voice. Oh my god. And he's also very competitive. He was very competitive with Chris. I don't think he cared to be with Chelley. He just wanted to win. He wanted to win Chelley. And even during the baby challenge, he was in competition with Chelley to see who's the best parent. It's so strange. Everyone is so strange. I just want normal people on the island. Like he and Chelley weren't co-parenting. They were parenting against one another, trying to see who's better. About his fight with Chelley, if you don't want her to be open, then close things. I wrote this before I watched yesterday's episode. You don't want her to explore? Close things off, because you were stolen by Yulisa. That wasn't your fault. Okay, that's fine. But then you had a chance to pick Chelley. You picked Amaya. After several days, you finally picked Chelley, but then you were exploring Iris. You've been doing this to Chelley over and over and over and over. You want to be with her, but you explore someone else. You want to be with her, you explore someone else. So then, when Chelley does it to you, oh, she's the bad guy? You've been doing it to her for weeks. But then she says, I like Chris, I want to explore him. Now she's the bad guy? Yesterday, though, he did close things off with her in yesterday's episode. So I don't know if that means they're just closed off. There's no new bombshells coming in, I think, so. Or if they're like exclusive, like boyfriend and girlfriend. Either way, I don't care. I don't care. Let's move on to Chelley. Chelley was one of my favorites at the very top. But when I realized she actually likes Ace, I said, oh, Chelley. Oh, Chelley, there's something wrong there. Chelley. If you actually like Ace, I'm looking at you sideways, Chelley. I still don't think you're a mean girl. I don't think you're a mean girl. I think you have every right to be fed up with Huda. I understand it. But you watched that man disrespect Amaya over and over and over, and you still stood by him. You watched him disrespect you and pick bombshells over you, and you still stood by him. Chelley. 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 Not that Chris is a better option, but still. Chelley. I don't think she's wrong for wanting to explore Chris. I don't think so. I don't think she's wrong. I don't think she did anything wrong. She just did what Ace has been doing to her. And Ace said the same thing he said about Amaya. But I picked you. But I picked you. She needs to get on her knees and kiss your feet. Is that what you want, Ace? For her to be grateful? Thank you. Thank you for picking me, Daddy Ace. Now let's talk about Huda. She simply does not like Huda. For weeks now, Huda's been saying that she's a girl's girl and then proceeds to call women bitches and whores. She is not a girl's girl. She's made that very clear right? This is all Huda's own doing, you know what I mean? Like, the girls do not like her. I've been saying this. They made it very clear for a long time that they didn't like her. She would talk to them and they don't even face her. She would be crying to them and they're like, yes, They don't like her. They're fed up with her.
Hi, editing Hannah here. So initially I agreed with Chelley, but after watching myself, I realized I wasn't making any sense. That's because Chelley wasn't making any sense. Because Chelley wanted claim over both Ace and Chris, but she refused to close things with Ace. And I thought that was very strange. How can you get mad at Huda and say she was doing too much with Ace when you're also having a fight with Ace about not wanting to close things and explore Chris? And how can you question Chris's intentions with you and Huda when you are doing the same thing as him, exploring two people? She's not making any sense to me. The conclusion I came to is that she just doesn't like Huda. She realized Huda is not a girl's girl. That is the only thing that makes sense to me, is that she simply does not like Huda and she's fed up with her, and that's why she was having that fight with her. Otherwise, her actions were not making sense to me. I don't understand her having a fight with Ace over wanting to stay open while also being mad at Chris for exploring someone else when she's exploring someone else, while also being mad at Huda for exploring someone she wants when she's also exploring two people. I don't understand anything. I don't think she's a mean girl. I just think not a single one of those girls, except Amaya, is a girl's girl. They just simply don't like each other. Her and Olandria, they're besties. Maybe Cierra as well is part of that group, but none of them like Huda. And if it is the case that she doesn't like Huda because Huda treats women like crap, then she should have no reason to like Ace. Because she has watched Ace treat Amaya like absolute trash for weeks and she still stood by him. So I think there's a lot of hypocrisy there, a lot of things that don't make sense. She's just not making sense to me. And she was one of my favorites. I want to like her so bad. She's not making sense to me at the moment. She really is not.
If you do not want him to be doing stuff in challenges, close things off. You don't want him to do stuff outside of challenges, close things off. They have since closed things off, so this is pretty redundant, but whatever. I don't hate Chelley. I don't like her either. Why Ace is my question. Why him? I don't understand it. Alright. Let's talk about Huda. Oh my goodness. The same way she didn't see that Jeremiah hated her is the same way she didn't see that the girls hated her. Because when she was crying, asking Olandria, am I a bad person? And Olandria said, you did too much, and just walked away. That was your sign. That was your sign right there. That these girls don't like you. The only one who likes you and is there for you is Amaya. Everyone else, the first opportunity they get, they talk shit about you. And I know that's not, she can't see that because she's not there. They talk about her behind her back. But they even make it obvious to her face that they don't like her. Like when that whole thing was happening with Chelley, they all sided with Chelley. That's why she was so hurt at the Stand on Business challenge. It's because they all took Chelley's side and they made their stance very clear that they don't like her. And she was legitimately blindsided. She did not see it coming because she thought these are her girls. They're going to stick by her no matter what, even though she's been disrespecting other women for weeks now. She disrespected Iris. She disrespected Amaya, the only person who's nice to her. She called a bitch. That's where Chelley's hypocrisy comes in, because how do you stand by Ace when he's disrespecting women and not like Huda when she's disrespecting women? It is very hypocritical, but I understand them not liking Huda. I understand it. And she would open up to these girls because she's thinking these are her girls, like with Andreina. And then Andreina just went and twisted her words to Chelley. Or when she opened up to Olandria and told her about the intimate moment she had with Chris, and Olandria aired her business out in front of everybody. These are all your signs, Huda, that these girls do not like you. And you need to keep things to yourself. And that's what she's doing with Chris, and he's not understanding it. For weeks now, everybody's been in her business, talking about her, looking at her when she's having conversations with people. When she tells them something in private, they air it out in front of everyone. How do you not understand, Chris, that that's why she's keeping things to herself? That she's trying to keep things private and intimate? These people have traumatized her. She does annoy me a little bit, I'm sorry, Huda. But like, it's a challenge. It's just a funny game about babies. Why are you getting mad at him and yelling at him? When he was going around asking everyone, before the yoga challenge, asking everyone how they feel, and he skipped Huda, and she was like, oh, well, fuck me then. Huda, relax. I've been saying this for weeks, Huda, relax. Why does everything offend her? It has to be insecurity. What's going on there? I think she thinks communication is telling people what I want, and then when they tell me what they want from me, I get mad. Because that's what she's doing, and that's not communication. I think she thinks communication is people just agreeing with her. That's why she said me and Chris have really good communication. You don't. You tell him, do this for me, do this for me, do this for me, do this for me. And then when he tries to open up to you, you interrupt him. No, I disagree with you. I walk away. You will not get to talk to me. Just go heal, please. Just go heal and learn what a healthy relationship looks like. I don't think you've ever experienced a healthy relationship. I don't think you ever have. And like I said, JD was right. She's very controlling. She likes to be dominant. He was right. He didn't tell a single lie. Now let's talk about Chris. Huda, you need to listen. This man is soft launching unemployment. He is telling you he does not have a job. He doesn't know what to do after basketball. This is a big deal. You need to listen to this, Huda, because you already have a human being to take care of. You can't have a second person to take care of. You need to be listening. Huda does not listen. None of those girls listen. In yesterday's episode, Bryan and Amaya tried to trick him into going to the dock to talk, and he refused to talk. He said, we're just going to go in circles and we're not going to resolve anything. I don't understand that. Why won't you talk? You know, by not communicating, things are just going to fester. The tension is only going to grow. Things are only going to get worse if you don't resolve this now. Because he's not understanding her and she's not understanding him. All she's trying to tell him is that people are in my business. They always have opinions about me. They're always looking at me. They're always judging me. That's why I want to keep things private between us. Because the last time I told someone about our intimate moment, they weaponized it and used it against me in front of everyone. But she's also not listening to him when he's saying, I don't know if he thinks he's being played, or I don't know if he thinks she secretly doesn't want to be with him, or if he thinks like she only wants to be physical with him and she doesn't want anything else. I don't know if he thinks she's ashamed of him. I don't know what's going on, because they won't communicate. They won't talk. So what I'm thinking is that he just wants to stick with her till the end, like keep the peace, and then by the end of the show, go his own way. I'm not convinced. There's love there. I'm not convinced. During that dumping, when Taylor and Clarke were dumped, Chris looked like he wanted to volunteer to go home. Chris was distraught. He was dissociating. He had no life between the eyes. He was just sitting there thinking about packing his bags and leaving. I don't think he likes her. I think he wants to go home. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Can I cut and go do something else? Olandria. I don't know what you saw in Taylor. I don't understand how you had feelings for him. I don't know if you're just a dry person, so I can't tell when you have feelings for someone, because even with Nick, you claim to like him. I don't see it. I'm not seeing it. With Taylor, you claim to have this really good connection with him, and I didn't see it. There was nothing there. It was so blah. I don't understand. In fairness to her, she didn't see all the times he was saying to the other boys he wasn't attracted to her and he didn't have chemistry with her. But I still don't understand how she likes him. What is it about him? I don't understand. She did everything for him, right? Even though Jaden came in for her, she picked Taylor over him. She prioritized Taylor. In Casa, she wasn't putting herself out there for Taylor. She got eliminated from Casa for Taylor. She did everything for him. And he was only looking out for himself. And I hate to say this, but she needed to hear that. She needed to hear him say, I'm only here for me. I'm putting me first. I'm not here for you. For her to move on. Because after Casa, when she was saying she still wants to pursue things, after he picked Clarke and wanted to send you home, I'm glad that she spoke up for herself and she told him, she let him have it. I'm happy that she did that, but she needed to hear him. Tell her the truth finally. I hate that it was in a public setting, but she needed to hear that. To snap her out of this haze, this cowboy haze that she's in. I knew her staying calm and collected was temporary, because I see you, Olandria, because you are just like me. You are just like me. I'm someone who stews in my feelings until they eventually all come out, whether I like it or not. And that is bad, because when you don't like someone, you don't tell them. Instead of just telling them, you make passive aggressive comments to tell them how you really feel without saying it, and it's very toxic. I know that because I've been called out on it many times, and I'm working on it. I'm working on just, if something's happening, to just talk about it, get it over with, and move on, instead of letting your emotions fester, because that's what she does. She did it with Huda. She didn't like Huda for a very long time, and she waited until the challenge when she was finally fed up and said something and did something about it and made passive aggressive comments. She did the same thing with Taylor. None of these people on this island have good communication skills, I swear to God. I see that eldest daughter in her where she doesn't get vulnerable right away, or she doesn't show vulnerability at all. I went through the same thing. It sucks. It's trauma. We need to heal. We need to heal. Because it's not okay. It's not okay. It's completely okay to cry and to show emotion. This is what I mean when they say that Huda is too much and Amaya is too much for being emotional. They're the only ones having a proper response to this whole thing. Her airing out Huda's business was actually disgusting. I'm so sorry, Olandria. I like you. I see a lot of myself in you, but that was disgusting. It was really awful because, again, she just made her stance very clear. She did not like Huda. Instead of telling her, you know what, girl, you are not my girl. We are not girls. You are not my friend. You do not like women. I do not want to stand by you. You just made passive-aggressive comments, and it's just, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't think this is going to be a fun video. It is very hypocritical of her to air her business out with Chris and make her feel like she's doing something wrong when she made out with her alleged best friend, Cierra's mans. It's very hypocritical. And you know I hate hypocrites. Everyone is a hypocrite. It's very hypocritical, Olandria. You had no business doing that to Huda when you were making out with Nick like 2 episodes prior. That was not okay. As for Nick, like I said, I don't know if she's just a dry person and I can't tell what her emotions are, but I'm not convinced she likes him. I really am not. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I don't understand anything. I wish they had brought in someone better for her sooner. Jaden was sweet, but there was nothing there. She had no chemistry with anyone. I'm starting to think she's just that way. She's just not someone who shows emotion very well. Yeah, maybe she does like Nick. I hope that for her, because I wish she wasn't hung up on Taylor the entire season. I wish she saw how awful he was sooner. I wish her luck. Good luck, Olandria. And the final person I'm going to talk about today is Amaya. Can you tell I'm tired and drained? I don't want to talk about this anymore. Oh my God, I hate everyone. Watching her be bullied and all the men telling her she's too much and she's too intense when all of them are emotionally stunted and they don't know how to show proper emotion and they don't know how to communicate their feelings was truly the worst thing I've ever witnessed with my own 2 eyes. That's hyperbolic, but whatever, just go with it. It is just awful watching this beautiful girl who wears her heart on her sleeves, who loves everyone and shows everyone how much she cares for them, be bullied. Be told that she's too much. Be crushed. They were crushing her spirit. No matter what they tell her, she still continues to be this happy-go-lucky, cheery, positive person. She's the ray of sunshine of the villa. I'm only watching for her, because she's the only one I care about. The fact that none of the girls stood up for her made me lose respect for each and every single one of those girls. And that's why I say I hate everyone except Amaya. They watched her be ganged up on and bullied, and they didn't say a single thing. And for that reason, I hate each and every single one of you. Each and every single one of you. This girl has done nothing but defend all of you and stand by you and support you and be there for you and to talk to you. And you watched her be bullied and you didn't say a thing. If you think about it, her biggest crime was loving people too much. Was caring too much. Caring for the wrong people. That was her biggest crime. And she's being punished for it. And she ranked number 1 every time. That, her finding out that we love her, that was the best part of the show. She's the best thing and the only good thing to come out of this show. She does not need to say sorry. She does not need to change. She's perfect the way she is. I love everything about her. She's a ray of sunshine. She really is. I don't even want to talk about her in Ace. I don't want to talk about her in Austin. I don't want to talk about her in Zach. I'm so glad she cussed Zach out and called him an odd individual, because that's what he is. One thing about Amaya, though, she will never stay quiet. She will say it like it is. And she will start up a fight if she has to. And what I love about Amaya is she is exactly who she says she is. I've seen so many of her TikToks where she was like, if you're gonna talk about me, get ready to fight. And that's exactly how she is. I'm just gonna talk about Bryan here because I have nothing to say about him on his own. I hope he's sincere. And I really hope he does like her. And I really hope he meant everything that he said. Because she deserves the world. She doesn't deserve someone who's clout chasing. I love that he was the only one who defended her. He's the only one who defended her. None of the girls stood up and defended her. He was the only one. And he says, everything that's a flaw about her, I love. I think it's a strength. Period. Didn't I say that I wanted a Dominican man for her? A man who's just like her? So I really hope things work out for them. She seems really happy. I really just want her to be happy and to find the love of her life. Because she's the only one who's sincere. She's the only one who came on this island without leaving anyone to run her social media. I don't think she did this for clout. She just did this because she wanted to find love, and I wish her well. She's the best. She's the only good person on that island. That is all I have to say about everybody. I'm so glad this show's coming to an end. I'm never going to watch another Love Island ever again. So thank you for watching this video. I know I wasn't fun during this video. It's because I hate this show. And I can't wait for it to end. I can't watch this anymore. I think it's ending on Sunday, thank God. I'm actually looking forward to tonight's episode. They're bringing the Islanders' families to Fiji. And I think that would be really nice to see. Maybe we'll have a bit of positivity. I don't know. Either way, it's been painful watching this show. Like, I actually hate it. I hate it. I can't wait for it to end, and I can't wait for me to never have to talk about this ever again. But thank you for watching. If you stayed this long, I know this was not fun. I was in pain talking about this. But I'll see you in the next video when I finally wrap this series up. Goodbye. And be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe so I can get to 5K. Yeah, that's my new goal. 5K. Bye.